Hi guys, it's Monica here to scrap with you today. It has been a long time since I have done a digital scrapbooking process video, but I was inspired this week to get back to it, so here we are. I am going to go ahead and first thing is I'm going to bring in the photo that I know that I want to scrap with. It is in Lightroom right now, and I'm just going to with my mouse right click that and select edit in Photoshop. A box will come up asking where to edit, what to edit, and I just pretty much always choose edit a copy with the Lightroom adjustments, even though I really haven't made any adjustments to this yet. Click on edit, and there we are. It's inside Photoshop. I will also bring in a page that I am using as my inspiration for this layout. Is always, I usually either start scrapbooking with some sort of inspiration layout or like a challenge that I know. Oh, that's not coming in. Okay, so on Pinterest is this layout that I found, which I'm using as inspiration. I am not doing a straight out scrap lift of this layout per se, but I am taking some inspiration from it. I like the way that there is a square cropped photo, some layering behind it, and then there's also some circular elements as well. So that's what I'll use as my inspiration. And I will link to this layout when I write up my post about this, so you'll be able to see that. So you may see me every now and then go back to Pinterest to take a look at this and see if I'm getting any more inspiration from it. I am also going to share with you the kit that I'll be using for this layout. I am pretty much a one kit scrapper unless I'm challenged to break out of that mold. I'm using the Storyteller November 2016 collection by Just Jamie, and so I will put a link to that as well. You can see that here, and that's where I'll be getting any elements papers that I'm using for this layout. I'm going to go ahead and start by selecting a solid colored background paper and bringing that in from Bridge. See, I'm taking a look. I think I'm just going to start with a white solid background, and then I may change that as I go. You'll hear me go silent every now and then as I'm just thinking about what I'm doing here. There we go. And then I'm going to bring this in. There we go. I'm going to make it smaller. That's large for just a little. Take a look here about what size I want to make it. Place it about here, and then I am going to go ahead and add a white frame around this photo and a shadow. I'm getting this layer style from a set by Fiddle-Dee-Dee Designs. Cheryl is the designer. We just got this last night. In fact, there it is. This is the style. To place a style on a photo or an element, you just load it into your styles palette. I can show you how to do that at another time if you'd like to know. And then click, and there we go. See, my photo has a nice white framed border all the way around it, and the shadow is added as well. I am next just going to add some additional paper layers behind that photo, and I'll clip photos. Papers to it. This pink and green polka dot that. Okay, good. Add one more underneath that. I'm kind of right now, I'm just using colors from inside the photo. This is, I went to yoga this morning, and after yoga, there was a little festival downtown, down from the studio, the yoga studio, and my favorite donut shop, which is usually either closed or sold out of donuts by that point of the morning, was open and selling Halloween donuts. So I got a donut. So Saturday morning I had yoga and donuts, and this is a photo I Instagrammed right after I got my donut, saying yoga and donuts is a thing, right? Or it can be a thing, right? Certainly a thing I am in favor of. Here we are. I am actually applying the shadow. I clipped the paper to the square shape that I drew, and I am applying the shadow to that shape. Here we are. Okay. Okay, then I'm just going to have some circular things going on as well. I would love to find a cutout like this, but I don't think I have. I don't think there's anything like that in the kit, and that's okay. Like I said, it's not a straight up scrap lift. Okay. To make a circle, I'm going to use the ellipse tool, and I'm just going to draw in a circle, and I'll clip a paper to that as well. Using a blue just to kind of contrast with the other colors. I can always go back and change that if I don't like it. I'll do another larger neutral kind of circle as well underneath that. There we are. If when you're drawing a shape or a circle, if you hold down the shift key while you're drawing it, it'll make it a perfect circle instead of kind of an oval. Same thing with a square. When you're drawing a square, if you hold down the shift key, it'll make it a perfect square and not sort of rectangular. The dimensions will be just right. Okay, I'll look for a neutral. Kind of a neutral there. Let's see how this paper looks on. Maybe there's some writing on it. I like that. Family memories, though. Nah, no, I'm not going to use that because it doesn't really go with the theme here. So, let me go back up to this. Control Alt G clips that to your background, to the shape. Okay. Take a look here. I think next I'm going to work on the title because I have an idea of what I think I want that to look like. I think I'm just going to title this Yoga and Donuts. For the yoga part, I am going to use some alphas from the kit. And I'm not sure about this. We'll see how it looks once I get it on there. This is going to overlap my photo just a little bit, and I want it to do that. I will just have to decide once I get in there how much I want it to overlap. Bring this up above my photo layer. I'm going to select each of these and just nudge it over a little bit. There we go. I think that's a little bit better. I'm going to go ahead and shadow this, and I'm just taking a look at my shadows to decide. Yeah, I'm going to come up here and use a different set of styles. I have in one of my sets of styles just an alpha shadow. Where is it? Further up this way. There we are, alpha shadow. There, I like that. Yoga and donuts. For now, I think I'm just gonna type in if I can spell D-O-W-T-S. There we are. And I'm gonna clip a paper to that. Come back here and find my papers. I wonder how this will look. Let's give it a shot. Don't think that's gonna work. Not so bad. I'm gonna pick a different paper though. It just has a little too much of a pattern going on for the text to be clear, and we do want our text to show up. So let's go with we'll just try a solid colored for now. For now, everything can always be changed. Kind of like that. I think I like that. Okay, so that is the basic things I had in mind for this layout. Is the square, photo, circles, and then the title. Now I'm going to do some clustering around the photo and just embellish a bit. And you may hear me talk through some of those decisions. Taking a look here, see what kind of inspiration I want to gather from there, and I'm just going to go. This is the fun part. Selecting and embellishing. I don't want to use a tag. I'm not finding the tag that I thought I had. I just see it up here. My daughter was listening to Frozen CD very loudly in her room not long ago, and so I have it stuck in my head. Okay. It's just as I think for now. Make this just a tad smaller. I'm going to tuck it in behind the photo. Add a shadow. Even tilt it just a little bit. Some of my elements I want to just kind of tilt things just a little off kilter. Okay. I love the colors, and this kit is just going to look great with the my photo. It's all just going to mesh together so well, I think. I'm looking at this ampersand and wondering if I should use that in my title instead of the word and, but I'm thinking not, just because this is kind of a quirked look to it, and the yoga alpha is also kind of quirked, and I just don't know that they're going to work well together. So I am deciding against that right now. Bring in some blue. I am not the best clusterer ever. So I'm always like double checking and probably a little bit more intentional and cautious than I need to be with that part of the process. Put this right there. I love this right here. This makes me so happy. Add this in for sure. Just wondering exactly where I want to put this. Next cluster. As you can see, I'm shadowing each element as I go, and before I save this layout, deciding that it's fully finished, I will check back over and make sure everything has a shadow on it, and may even custom shadow some things. Let me try this one too. Sometimes I can't quite get at the elements with the selector once they come in, just because they're hidden underneath things. So I'll just nudge them around with the arrows on my keyboard until I can reach them. Okay. I think I am going to select all of these and move them down just a little bit. There we go. I think I like that. Good. Okay, next I'm going to add some paint underneath, some good mixed media in there. And this came in actually underneath the yellow neutral colored circle, so I'm just, as I said, using those arrows to nudge it down a bit because I want it to show up. There we are. If I hold down the Alt key and then move this with my mouse, then it just kind of makes a copy of it and moves it all at the same time. Okay. Would like some blue paint above, between that between the blue arrow paper and the yellow neutral colored paper. Let's see what this will look like right there. May or may not work. If it doesn't, then we'll try something else. Starting to peek. There we are. I like that. I think I like it a lot. Perfect. Good, good, good. Okay. I wonder how big this is. Sometimes something just kind of strikes me when I see it in the kit, and I think, let's try that. And that's what I thought with this glittery paint. And I think I like that added to the top of the page. I'm going to let it sit there for a little bit before I make a final decision on that, but I'm thinking I really do like that. Okay, now I'm going to go back into my elements and just take a look around and see what other bits and pieces I can add to finish this off. And then usually the last thing I do is to add some journaling to the page. Okay. I like this, but I'm going to erase some of those. Okay, let's leave it a sequined shadow, but I don't want it. I like it how it shows up over the photo, kind of at the bottom half of the photo. But I'm just going to erase the pieces that I really don't want. Good, I think that's good. Okay, I think I'm going to put the date right here on that tag. And for the date, I'm just going to use a typewriter font, American typewriter. There's that one, and I think Remington Noiseless is the other typewriter font that I really like a lot. And this was this morning, so woo, that's big. Let me make this smaller. I might have to go even smaller than that. Oh, it's fitting on the tag. That's just right. Trying to get the angle. Not quite right. I'm going to nudge it just a little bit more. And that's probably too much. Yep. I'm going to enlarge in this just a bit so I can get my angle just right on here. The closer you are, you have just a little bit more control over that. Perfect. Yeah, that's much, much better. Control 0 takes you back to here. Yes, I like that. Okay. I am going to pause the recording for just a minute and go ahead and type out my journaling, and I will be right back with you. Okay, so here is my journaling. I wrote, I was so tempted this morning to skip yoga class and park myself in a coffee shop with a book instead. But I was a good girl and made the right choice to go to yoga. But afterwards, I just could not resist the call of donuts from Bossa Prua. I went in and got a yummy donut for myself before going home to the kids. Yoga and donuts. It can totally be a thing, right? Please tell me I'm right. Okay, I am going to erase this sequin that is sitting over the journaling. Good. I'm just going to check my placement of the journaling. I'm going to put a little bit more paint over on this side. Just kind of draw you in that way a little bit. Good. Good. Okay. Take a look, see if there's anything else that should be added. This is almost complete. Let's see, some string would be fun. Where is the string? Bring it up a little bit. Good. Take a look through word art. I do love adding word art to my pages. Yeah, I think that would be a little too much. I do like that. Oh yeah, right there. Okay, I'm going to take this off. Washi tape. That's what I'm needing. Maybe. Maybe. Just to get a little bit more layering on there. And then I think that will finish me off, this piece of washi tape. Shadow that. Perfect. Okay. I am going to come in and play with the shadow on this photo layer just a little bit. I right click on the little FX and select create layers. That will take all the styles and make them into their own layer. And I can draw this out a bit, make it bigger so I can see what I'm doing just a tad. Okay, warp them. I'm not going to be too terribly fussy with these shadows just because there is so layering. One shadow tends to affect the others. I'm looking at the time. This is taking quite a while. Okay, I'm going to call this done. So I should have been saving the whole time I was scrapping this, but I did not. So I'm going to go ahead and save this now. Control S to save, and I have it in my Documents folder under DigiScrap, Pages. You see here, this is how I have everything organized into years. And then from there, I have a folder for creative teams, saving for the web, folder for print, TIFF, and web. TIFF is the Photoshop file that you can go back and edit. I'll select a title, yoga and donuts, and then hit save. Okay. Takes a minute for it to save. After this saves, then I will show you how I save it to be posted on the web, and then I will close out. Okay, that's the picture. I'm just going to exit out of that. I didn't have any changes to it, so I didn't need to save any changes. Okay, now next, I will not save for the web. Actually, next I will save for print. I do this automatically, so every layout is ready for printing. Print. And then the print is going to be saved as a JPEG. Save. There's a pop-up box, the largest possible. Okay. Okay. Now, this little arrow right here are the actions that I have. I have created my own actions for resizing layouts for the web in sizes 600 wide, 700 wide, and 900 wide. I typically don't use 900, but I was on a creative team once that required 900. 700 is what I saved for my blog. 600 is what the LilyPad asked for their creative team layouts. And so I'm going to go ahead and save it under that size first. I will select 600 pixels and then hit the arrow key, and it will play that action for me. And this asked if you want to rename it. I will, instead of copy, I will put an underscore and then 600. Okay. Okay. All right. Here we are. I'm going to optimize to 250 file size, and that is still a high quality. So save that, and then I will tell it what folder to put it in. There we are. Web 600. Save. And that's it. So thank you so much for joining me today for a little bit of scrapbooking. I hope to make this a weekly thing. Tell me what you think. I know it's a little bit slow, and anyway, I'll get better at it, I promise. I thank you so much for joining me. Bye.